All right, and we're back. Somebody's podcast, episode 17, back in the building. We got our normal guests. No, our normal hosts. I don't give a fuck. I'm fucking up out the gate. I don't care. We're going to keep it in. We got my man to my left, Mr. Justin, Mr. Recovery Conscious Mind. If you haven't bought the book, get it on Amazon Prime. We got Mr. Baxter in the building, my man J-Mac, our original gangster, Chrissy L, Chrissy Ladewski. Chrissy Fist Pound. Oh, and we have two special guests tonight. We got some cutie patooties. We got some cutie patooties in the building. We got the recovery couple. We got the recovery powerhouse. We got the Facebook couple of the year. Back to back champions. We got Miss Michelle and Mr. Adam. Let me hear that sexy voice real quick.
Not today. Watching.
Adam's got a very sexy voice. So
I've been told.
Yes. So Chrissy is very excited for this podcast.
I'm so pumped.
He is saying that he is going to say words tonight. Consecutive words in a row.
Actually, shit talk, right?
Yep, I think I'm gonna. Tonight's the night I break through. So
You feeling good?
All day.
I've been calling them, just laughing into the phone. That's true. This is my episode. So.
Yeah, no. We were at the office and he FaceTimed her and he said, "You're in my world now, Grandma."
Yeah.
And then he hung up.
This. Ooh.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was good.
Nobody else hangs up on me more than Chris.
Same.
It's a bad habit.
Like anybody, she doesn't even hang up on me more than Chris, which is a lot.
I started that game.
My MO is I gotta go. I gotta answer this, and no one's calling me, and they're like, I'll call them back. They'll be like, no one's even calling your cell phone. Like nothing came up. I'm like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if you're tuning in for the first time, Somebody's Podcast is a recovery podcast, a lifestyle podcast, spirituality podcast, ascending. It's whatever. It's wherever you want to go in recovery. It's if you have a limited belief system and your mind feeds you bullshit and tells you that you can't, we're here to tell you that you can. It's trying to better yourself in your life in any and all areas of your life. It's addiction. It's all types of shit. So our specialty here is where people in long-term recovery that have put in some work and begun the process of changing our motherfucking lives. It's to shatter the belief system that you can't, because we're here to call bullshit on that, because you can. And we got some successful motherfuckers in this room right now, people that are continuously in that grind, in that self-evolution, the evolution of self, that process of recovery and spiritual growth and mental growth and the understanding of all these things. So what I love about this podcast, we get different perspectives from different walks of life, different people growing up in different areas. We get some cowboys over here from the mean streets of New Hampshire.
Put that very, very well. I like that. It's a lot better than like, oh, he's from the fucking sticks.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't even know where the fuck you're from, Michelle.
I was an army
Neither
brat,
did she.
actually. So all over.
Perfect. Let's start with you. So let's give a little context with I like that. I like that. That's what you did a little.
Yeah. Like announce that this is happening.
Yes. So just a little context, a little brief history. We don't need the full log. Just a little bit of I like to do the short summary of things. Just kind of like your process, a little bit of your process, the point that created the change that ended you up in the place that you're in right now in this current moment.
Okay. So I was an army brat, grew up all over. And then after my dad left, we moved to New England, like Tingsboro, Lowell, Nashua. And I started getting into trouble around 14 or so, and it just quickly escalated. I turned to opiates and stuff after my daughter was born, actually. I was into hard drugs before that, but nothing like that took me the way opiates did. And then I very quickly went to IV heroin use. And I ended up, my family enabled me for a very long time because we didn't want my daughter to know. So it was just a cycle of me going to detoxes and telling her I was going away to do something else. So every time I would go to jail or rehab or detox, it was just, we were lying to her. And then finally I was 36 and they told her the truth. I went to jail and they said, I was all over the papers. And they said, your mom's a heroin addict and you're not seeing her until she gets clean. So I ended up going to the Salvation Army after that.
Wait, how long were you in jail?
That time?
Yeah.
Like 4 months, maybe 3 or 4 months.
What was your longest stint?
Like 6.
Such a bad bitch.
Yeah. Did you run the block?
No.
Oh.
It wasn't like it is. Yeah, no.
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 You didn't make a shiv?
No.
Never
no
shanked
shifts.
somebody?
No.
She saved that for
None of that.
Damn.
I got my ass kicked pretty bad in jail once.
You
Can we
did.
hear that?
Can tell us about it. How'd that go?
So we were outside, and it was just like, I didn't even start the fight. It was just girls started fighting.
Mayhem.
And it was just mayhem.
Yep.
And I got it. I got it bad at the time.
Were you
so.
like, everybody stop, love,
No.
huggy? Oh, you were like, fucking
you were
kill.
so-
Well, yeah,
Function.
because you're so bored there.
Oh, so you had
it's
that pent
just-
up.
Yeah, you just want something.
Stirring the pot
you
up,
know. I
you
think I ran outside when I heard the fight was happening, just to like.
And you got beat up?
Yeah.
Real question. The toughest girl in the jail
Yeah.
that you can think of, could Adam take her?
Probably. I mean,
Be honest.
Can't even take her, and she got her ass beat. Like, she fights like a fucking inmate.
What
Yeah,
a good
probably
girlfriend. She was willing to lie for him. What a good girlfriend.
No, I appreciate the hustle there.
That's
I do,
love.
but
Yeah. Okay, so you're in the paper. You're infamous.
well, yeah.
Yeah. I was once infamous in the paper too.
Yeah.
It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Actually, my mother hung it on the fridge forever. It was fucked up. Yeah.
Right.
Like it was like that, and like my brother's report cards and shit. Which are all there. All right, so you go to prison. They tell your daughter
Yeah.
you're not allowed to see your daughter.
Right.
Go to the Salvation Army.
Yeah, well, I got out. I kept using for a little while because I felt bad for myself because they wouldn't let me see my daughter. And then I put myself, actually August 15th is my 4 years. So I put myself in the Salvation Army, and I was able to then start talking to her again and seeing her, and I just stayed clean.
Tell us
I
about
wasn't
the
planning-
Sally. I heard
The
that.
Sally's great.
Yeah?
It's hard.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never-
what I was gonna say. It's one of the tougher programs to complete. If you complete the Sally, that means you're pretty much in a good place to surrender.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me almost 9 months to complete because I was on restriction a lot.
For what? Be honest.
Like I
it's
used
okay.
to prank call the office from the payphone.
What?
Not you.
No.
she still does that shit.
Yes.
And yeah, just like hiding and scaring people and stuff. Just stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's stuff you do today.
Yeah.
Okay.
People
That's what I
don't
figured.
change.
Okay. So was there a point where, obviously, so there was we all fall prey to the victim mentality where we start to blame our circumstances on whatever the fuck we want to blame it on. Like it's this fault, that fault. If only if I woulda, or if I coulda, or it's because of my trauma. It's because of my this. It's because of my that. And which none of it's not true. But with that mindset, it cripples us and it keeps us in a place of inactivity where we're too busy laying in our misery and falling prey to our victim mentality that we're not giving ourselves the opportunity to change. And there's always like in the halls, they call it the moment of clarity or an act of like God shows up or whatever. Was there something that happened for you that created the internal motivation?
Yeah. So when I was able to start talking to my daughter again, it's funny because I had a friend that came up from Manchester to visit me, and it was one of the days I could have a 2-hour pass to like go out. And I was starting to talk to my daughter on the phone again, and then like the next weekend she was supposed to come for the first time and see me for the first time in months to go to church. And my friend came and picked me up, and I had a script for Johnny's at the CVS. So I was like, bring me there. I want to get him because I didn't think they tested for him. And he literally stopped the car and he was like, okay, well, call Nevaeh and tell her she's not worth it. Oh, listen.
That's a good friend right there.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And yeah, and
That
I was
hurt
like,
my feelings.
Yeah. But it was, and after that, like the Salvation Army was good because if you fucked up and you got a restriction, they didn't let you, I would try to like call my mom and my daughter and be like, hey, like we all got in trouble for something. So, I would try to make it lighter than what it was, and they wouldn't let me. Like they would make me take the phone, call my daughter and be like, you can't come see mommy Sunday because she prank called the office.
Oh,
like they made me own it, and like best thing that ever happened to me because I was so, I I manipulated every situation to make everything lighter than it was, and I finally had to own my shit.
They're teaching you to be honest. That's good.
No, there was no joke. Like, hey, I can't call you. I can't use the payphones anymore because once the whole payphone thing happened, I wasn't allowed to use the payphones anymore, and you have no cell phone. So I could never talk to her again. They're like, you need to call your daughter and say, hey, I'm not calling you every night anymore because of my actions.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Hold you accountable.
Right, but it's exactly what I needed because at 36, I had spent my whole life being an asshole and blaming everybody else.
Yeah.
Do you still prank phone call people
Yes,
to this day?
I do.
So you learned your lesson.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Me and Nicole White love to prank call people.
Dude, you guys
Yeah.
got me once. Bad.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Okay, so we graduate to Sally, and then you go where?
To rise above.
Oh,
It's
all right.
funny because I called Michelle, and she used to be my drug dealer. So I call from the Salvation Army. I have no idea she works there, and she answers the phone. I'm like, yeah, like I'm graduating on this date. Like I'm looking to get into sober living, and she's like, okay, what's your name? And I tell her my name, and she's like, this is Michelle Leclerc. And I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, come on down. And a couple months later, that you guys gave me the house manager position, like very soon after, because when I got there, I was like afraid to curse. I was afraid to be late for curfew. I would like lie. Like I
It's hard to believe.
I was
Afraid to curse.
I was
Things have changed.
because in the Salvation Army, you get a 3-day restriction if you curse. You get a 3-day restriction if you even.
Oh, that was
say,
like the Meridian
Yeah,
House.
we
Yeah.
might need to send you back to the
yeah. That's to do a
I was
second
afraid
term.
to curse.
Right,
Me too,
right.
though. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're serious. I had one house manager that was like, if I said, gosh darn it, she would give me a restriction because it was the intention behind what I was saying. It wasn't the actual word.
Gosh darn it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine?
What was Michelle like as a drug dealer?
She was kind of a dick, just like she is at
Really?
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
All business, like
Hell yeah.
yeah.
So she's been training for this job her whole
She's
life.
yeah. She has
Full circle.
Makes
good at what
sense.
she does.
Makes sense.
I love
Yeah.
it.
So Adam, so from the day you decided no more Advil PMs,
It's funny. It was triple C's and Robitussin.
that was
That was the
what,
stuff, dude.
Yeah.
that was
I'm
it.
telling you.
Newport Lights.
So there you were on the farm,
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
On the there was pigs and stuff everywhere. It was crazy.
and you were just mucking the stall, and you were like, I can't live like this no more.
So, actually, he just told it. So, I mean, we don't really have to get into it too much.
Nah, hit us with it. The real story.
Like, I come from a really great family. Like, growing up, we had literally everything we needed and most of what we wanted. And, like, somewhere along the way, I just didn't believe I belonged where I was. Like, my dad and I never really saw eye to eye. So, like, I already took that victim mentality of, like, well, he doesn't love me, and created this whole narrative and then ran off with it. And after that, anytime I ever got in trouble, like, oh, it was because my dad and I argued, and that's why I act out. When in reality, I was just a fucking asshole, and that's just the story of that. And then I got hurt in baseball. Obviously my perks ran out from the doctor, so I went looking elsewhere. My buddy at the time gave me a.
So what was
first
the
taste.
injury that you? Because this
Well, I
is
had-
actually a lot of people's story that end
Yeah,
up
no, it really is, and
getting
it's-
hooked on
it's-
painkillers.
Terrible. So I had severely injured my shoulder to the point where right before needing surgery, they gave me like perk 10s, the little pink ones.
And how old are you at this time?
I was 15 and a half.
Jesus Christ.
Dude.
And then it literally, after that was over, like, I didn't know I was sick. I was like, I got the flu. And then, I mean, it's the middle of summer, so I didn't have the flu. But I got the pills off the street. They did the same effect, except they were stronger. Obviously, it was the 30s. And then soon after that, it was the OC80s at the time, too, and ran with those for a while. And then those ran dry and turned to dope, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But everywhere I went, the drugs followed. I did a lot of really disgusting shit to a lot of fucking really good people. And, like, it's funny because, like, the first time I got to Rise Above, I heard Justin speak at a house meeting. And it was like, what got you here? What was the moment that got you here? Well, the funny part about that is, like, a punch in the face legitimately was, like, my coming to God moment of, like, all right, I'm done. I'm good with this. over $200 that I stole directly from this kid's nose while he was sleeping after he gave me a place to stay the night before. And I was like, I don't need you anymore. I'm going to take your money. I'm out. Like, thanks for the night stay. I appreciate it, but I'm good. And I was already homeless at the time. I had broke my ankle playing basketball, like, because I'm not that coordinated when I'm getting high, believe it or not. And I shattered this thing. Like, I had a softball on the side of my ankle. And I had been stealing my parents' credit card for a while.
Hold on, I just want to clarify. Was it on the size of your ankle or was it on the side?
So
I just did
softball
I need a
size.
clarification, but I didn't want to.
Well, I just don't want to confuse it. You know what I mean?
No, that's a good question.
All right,
That's a good question.
It was
So
a sizable ankle.
Not today.
in my head, that's why I stuttered so much too. Because like in my head, I'm like, don't be the fucking first.
Oh no, I always come
You
out
all,
the gate.
he was
eating
all
shit.
serious and looking at Chris, and it's like you both addressed it. He's like, hold on, let me clarify that.
By the way, I'm fuck that up. So I had a softball size ankle.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, I'm with you now.
And so, like, I go to the ER, I get it checked out, I get sent home, no medicine. I'm like, what? I was like, because when I heard it, I'm like, this is my ticket. Like, I can get high today. Thank God, you know? Nothing. They gave me, like, the generic version of everything. I'm like, this is garbage. This is so bad. So I go home. Obviously, I'm hobbling, so I didn't have time to get the mail, and the bank statement came in, and the credit card statement came in. And, like, have you met my father? My father's nothing to fuck around with. He's a fucking mountain of a man. And with a broken ankle, dude, he wiped me up. He cleaned the entire garage with my back from my throat. And I completely deserved it. Like, all disclaimers, like, it was terrifying. I've never been feared for my life more than I did in that moment. And he threw me out of the house right then and there. Like, my mom gave me $20. Was like, good luck. Like, I don't have your back anymore because
Your dad just broke it.
I know you just left the ER, but do you need a ride back?
Yeah.
So now I was homeless for like a month and a half. And I literally, so the Dunkin' Donuts in Laconia, there's like a hardware store right next. So I like sneak in. I stole a tarp. And there was a ladder next to this Dunkin' Donuts. So I would take a big rock, climb to the top, with a broken ankle, mind you, put it on top of the tarp, throw it down, put another rock down, and I slept behind a Dunkin' Donuts for like 3 weeks, which was sick.
At least it's a quick walk to a coffee in the morning.
I was going to say super
No,
convenient
it's not.
if
No.
you're trying to get coffee and donuts, though.
It's tough to walk with a sizable ankle.
A sizable ankle.
Sizable
So, but no, what the kicker of this, and like if anybody out there is like struggling and this is the place to stay, and I'm going to tell you why. They throw out the donuts that they don't sell.
I'll fucking go get them now.
Right now.
Without
dude.
being homeless.
Exactly. So, yeah, I was still eating and not that good.
So 300 pounds heavier.
No, see, I was a severe meth addict too, but that's a story for another day. A long story, actually. And then my buddy was like, you want to come stay with me? Because, like, I still had a little hustle going on. And
Were you tricking?
no, I can't say that because my girlfriend's here. So,
Oh, man.
no, I've never done that. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Yet.
No, it's absolutely a yet.
Yeah.
Like, now that I've researched it, like, they make a lot of money.
What's that thing everyone's doing nowadays? For you, fan? What's
OnlyFans.
Pretend like he pretends like he doesn't have
He
a subscription.
subscribed.
How do you spell that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you,
That was a
fan?
setup.
Why don't
That
you?
was a
Why
setup.
don't you give us your hashtag?
Yeah, just tell us your fucking handle, and we'll
Let's
support,
go.
dude.
Wait,
We'll
so-
throw it up on the screen. for
Yeah.
everybody.
Chris is OnlyFans.
What are the kids doing these days?
Yeah,
Fans something? Fans?
I have no idea. Chris, first one.
Fan book.
Yeah, fan.
Dude, so
Snapbook.
what's your buddy say? Remember on Facebook?
Oh, yeah,
Only hands.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so this is amazing. I was dying laughing about this on Facebook, like sitting in my car by myself, the vibes.
Obviously.
So I'm sitting there, I'm scrolling, I come across this. It's like idea. OnlyFans, except it's me and the homies beating up women abusers and pedophiles called
Hell,
Only Hands.
I like it, dude.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's
Yeah,
epic.
that's dope.
And Shane actually was the one who like I thought of first. I was like, yo, that boy is about it. He's about it.
So Dunkin' Donuts, you live at the Dunks.
Yeah, that was a sweet segue.
Yeah,
No, that's what we're all about here.
Yeah.
We're all about that.
He's like, only hands back to the glazed
Back-
donuts in the dumpster.
hello.
They're good as long as like the trash juice doesn't get to them. They're still good. So if you're out there, at
I
Dunkin' Donuts is the
definitely just
spot.
lost my appetite.
Listen, you were starving. I did you a favor. So behind the Dunkin' Donuts, and like I still had like probably 11 days left on my phone plan because at the time it was go get a card and enter the numbers and like a weirdo. But I go to my buddy's house, which is a studio. Go figure. So it's literally like a bed.
A closet with a toilet.
Essentially, yes. The shower was as wide as the chair that you're sitting in.
It's actually the sink.
Is this your fucking story? So we did that, for a while, and like I feel bad because at the time he wasn't even really into drugs. Like he had been in and out of rehab a couple times, and like my family and his family was really close. And then like I just brought that demon like to his front door again. So like I've always kind of felt bad about that, but doing better now. So
Yeah.
good job.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, shout out to him. I don't know if he wants me to just let that one fly. So like just shout out to him. You know who you are.
You know.
And then so I get invited to, this is the first time for everybody, including the people watching. So we get invited to this 4th of July party in 2017. Well, I wasn't the most welcomed guest. And which ended up bringing like heat on my buddy because they like was like, oh, I know where he's staying. He's staying at this kid's house. So they like rolled deep up. And another funny story, like a good friend of mine's mother owned the house that this kid was renting this tiny room from. And she showed up and like had my back and like pulled me aside. And like I've known her from childhood and just like up one side of me, right down the other, but like with love. And like I hadn't ever received such a lashing, but like also smarten up, kid. Like I give a shit about you.
Hold on. Are you at a 4th of July party right now?
This is the next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? I want to know.
I'm confused.
I had just
Did you
acted
get
a
kicked
complete
out of the party
fool.
for a slow story?
Dude, that's my hidden talent, Justin. That's my hidden talent.
Justin's on fire tonight.
So like, cash money. Thank you, Justin, for the.
No, but I
shot
was
Chester.
actually the way your voice is. I'm in this story. So
Invested.
if you're gonna take me somewhere,
So,
take me all the way.
I had gotten.
I'm like still at the 4th of July party, and now you have
the
someone.
party's over.
I'm waiting for the punch in the
Someone's
face.
aunt.
The
But I
party's
wanted.
over.
So you weren't welcomed at this 4th of July party.
So I ended up taking a ton of money.
Oh, so you stole from this
Oh,
party?
100% I did.
Okay.
That's a good part of the story. Why would you say that?
Yeah. So I went to the 4th of July party and fucking robbed everybody.
I went to the 4th of July party and the neighbor
and-
talked me into something.
And now shit
Just like
was
out here incriminating myself. But
shit
anyway.
was popping.
Yes, shit was really popping.
And then your boy's mom
Yep.
came.
Girls. Yeah. Sure.
The lady that owned this house.
Yes.
Karen.
Better.
This is the next day. Karen.
Say Karen.
I like that. We'll call her Karen.
Thank you.
Karen came over and was like, I'm sick of your shit, but I
Yep.
love you, but I'm sick of your shit.
Yep.
And you need to fucking smarten the fuck up.
Yep, 100%.
Okay. And you're back.
So from that moment, I was like, I still got like some money in my pocket that definitely wasn't mine. Still had access to getting drugs. And I made a phone call to my grandfather. And I was like, yo, I'm done, dude. Please come pick me up. And he's like, all right, well, meet me at the Laconia Public Library. Because, like, he's old at the time and he's gone now. But it's the only landmark he knew. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll meet you there. Dude, I have really good luck when it comes to not running into people that like I had beef with. Over the years, I just got lucky. And not today. Not that day. So like there's a nice little sitting area for like, I don't know, not drug addicts out back of the Laconia Public Library. There's a nice fountain, there's a beautiful garden. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I can get my Zen on before I start this journey in the opposite direction.
As the meth wears off, I will pray.
I will pray. So I'm walking back there. I got a backpack on. And like, of course my head's down because I've no self-worth. And I'm walking. I pick my head up. You get that weird feeling like someone's looking at you. And like this kid is sitting on the bench in this beautiful garden with like 2 other people. And I'm like, what are the fucking chances of this right now? Like, there's no way. I'm dreaming. So I'm like rubbing my eyes and I look, I'm like, now he's walking towards me. I'm like, oh, well, I definitely deserve this. So no talking, nothing. Walks up, boom, right in the mouth. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to admit to it, but.
He hits harder than Michelle.
No.
Damn it.
No way.
Damn it.
I'm telling you, Michelle's a fucking inmate.
No,
Still.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
She's like, I'll cut you, bitch.
You hired a serial killer.
Welcome.
No, I knew that when I hired her.
That's why I hired her.
Yeah.
So,
We'll talk about your bedtime stories later.
dude, I actually got some bedtime stories about you. So, dude, put it on Facebook Live one night. It was amazing.
Hey, we'll put the link up here if you missed it.
That was amazing.
And I was like, hey, dude, my 70-something-year-old grandfather's about to roll up. Like, can we do this like at a later date? And that later date never came because I went to treatment. I spent 38 days at Farnham and then right to rise above at Pine Street and was there for 2 years, a little over 2 years.
So he punched you and you went time out.
Time.
Yo, I went. So he punched
Time out. That's it. Yeah.
No, so I grabbed him. I was like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about because obviously I didn't do that. And but like, which you know is bullshit because if you're not fighting back because somebody socked you in the face and you didn't deserve it, like
You know you did it.
yeah, you know you did it. So yeah, my grandfather picked me up like fucking, I don't know, 40 seconds later, and then my lips bleeding a little bit, and he's like, you look like shit. I'm like, I feel like shit. I think I was 125 pounds.
That's so hot.
Yeah, it was a good look. But then I came to rise above, dude.
You know what you know what's a good move next time someone's going to jump you? What works is the second you feel the tension, like they're coming to get you, just drop your pants to your ankles and do the Rick Rude like this, and then try to kiss them.
Just pick, I'm pregnant.
With emotion?
Yeah. And then it just confuses them so much. They're like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Chris is like, next time a guy's coming at you to fight him, blow him. He definitely will fuck you up.
Yell like, go like this, go. Ooh!
Forgot all about that money.
Yeah. They're like, what the fuck happened to this guy?
He
Holy
smoked
shit.
every time.
Every time.
Dude.
With that
70%
said,
of the time it works.
all the time.
Every time.
Thank you.
Can we
Thank
take a
you.
pee break?
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Michelle's dying too.
Go.
Are you
Go
serious?
pee.
I was nervous.
Michelle's dying.
I'll be right back.
You're good.
She's taking.
All right, and we're back from the pee-pee break. Or the poopy break. We don't know.
Michelle.
We don't know, Michelle. Ew.
Cacas.
So where we left off, we were having the cutie patooties give us some context, but even more important. First off, let me just say this little thing about the two of you, because it's gonna turn into Roastville for a little bit. We know that, but people need to know who and what you are, which is two powerful and amazingly inspiring people in recovery and in the recovery community. I watched the two of you go above and beyond for addicts in recovery, whether they're new or with time. I see you guys invest mental, everything. This field is very hard to work in. It takes a large piece of you on a daily basis, and then it takes a lot for us to recover mentally, physically, spiritually, the whole gamut. And anybody that decides to willingly work in this field is out of their fucking mind. We just happen to all be out of our fucking minds. So,
Very
and
true.
then especially there are people who work in the field, and then there are people that work in the field that are fucking good at it, that can bring themselves down to a level of empathy, and that can bring themselves down to a level of like with no ego involved, where a lot of people get ego driven, where it's I'm either better than or less.
Yes.
Left man? Right?
Progress.
These are Sam's favorite parts of the podcast. My wife when I eat shit.
She loves watching Crash.
Oh, it's fucking Whatever. Then you know what? I'm just done with the nice segment of this. Chris, you can take over.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't. First off, I don't want you to talk.
He was getting nervous. He was getting nervous.
Sweating.
What you guys do on a daily basis is amazing. The way you are with women, Michelle, is fucking like super inspiring. You do so much stuff that's like you don't have to do. I see you do like game nights, gathering women together. I see you constantly investing time. It's just, I love it, and I love you for that. My favorite type of people, the people that love other people and that don't forget the hell that they've come from and that continue to like go back in that fire to pull people out. I love that. I love the people that begin this process. They don't reap all the rewards and cash out. They actually, they double down and they stay in and they invest in it more. And that's everybody in this room. And that's like what me and Justin essentially look for in people, you know, especially with like the business and all that stuff, because that's who and what we are, you know.
No, we're lucky to have you two.
Well, I never.
Well, I never.
I never.
And let's give a shout out to Justin for being so patient. We were talking about this while we were on break, but this is the longest he's gone on this podcast probably ever.
It actually wasn't a pee break. He yelled at all of us.
Yeah, Justin like Adam in his fight called a timeout.
Hey guys,
He's like timeout.
guys, everyone's fired if I don't fucking talk for the next 10 minutes.
It's been nice having you, bud, but
something.
see you later.
We're actually gonna
Not
read.
serious.
We're actually gonna read an excerpt from Justin's book. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys that compliment. You're both fucking amazing. I mean, Chris, you're in the same boat as that, and Jay. Like Jay came home from Florida, heavily recruited. Jay and Justin, and like, there's not many people that knew me from like ground zero, day one, insane Chris. So. And that's why like I do this with them, and I see you guys are just as fucking twisted as we are with wanting to do this all day every day. And the sick part about it is you fucking enjoy it, which that's how you know you're whacked.
Fucked.
You know,
It's fucked.
there's definitely moments where it's hard for sure, but even more fucked is relationships in recovery.
Oh, thank God.
This is gonna be the new
Thank
favorite
God I have no experience.
So
with females.
why don't we start with this, right? If I told you a story, people, about a man getting a woman's name tattooed on his leg,
Oh, fuck, dude.
you would probably assume that they were together, or maybe even talking, or maybe even married. Now, if I told you that none of that was actually happening, yet this still occurred, what would you think?
I wouldn't believe you.
I wouldn't believe me either.
I wouldn't.
Could I follow that up with asking to see it since I know it's in the room?
Is it
That's not up to me.
It's a little high, but
It's very high.
I
Dude,
would.
I don't care if your balls are out.
There's the camera right there. If you want to.
Oh fuck.
She's
Oh,
like,
you
I'm gonna fuck you up later.
First
So-
off,
oh, yeah.
how cute
fucking balls
that he
pop out.
gets
He's like-
permission.
Listen, no, we were just talking about this. Even the king back in the Spartan days, like had to get permission from the queen before anything was done. So like,
Yeah.
basically, I'm one of the 300, and Chris is a fucking Persian. So
Makes sense.
that story checks out.
So while you're showing us the tattoo, why don't you tell us the story of how this occurred?
Oh shit.
Okay, so we were really good friends at the time.
You
And
friend zoned him?
we
Really
were
good
just
friends?
We were just friends at the
You were
time.
When
grooming, you were grooming him.
Yes, you were grooming
Yes,
him.
yes.
Oh man.
Don't tell my secrets.
Oh, dude, Justin's on
I was getting him to
fire.
trust me so that I
Yes.
can then
Yeah.
Because
assault
there
him.
may or may not be like a 20-year age gap.
No, 12 years.
12.
To her daughter. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he is closer to her
Shout
daughter.
out. Give a shout
Yeah.
out.
Shout out Nevaeh,
Shout out Nevaeh.
my girl.
You fluffing it? What are you doing?
Wow. Wow.
I gotta show you this tattoo, but I have to take a Viagra first.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's amazing.
And I love that it's the first and the last name. That's so what made that funny.
You
So
psycho.
So what made that funny was that we weren't together. We had never been together. He kind of like had a crush on me. It was me, him, He did.
Oh, this story's getting sideways.
He did. He had
It's like
he had a
some
major
David
crush on
Koresh
me.
shit.
So he was
Keep going.
obsessed.
No, so we
Adam's
were all
like, I
really
call
good
bullshit.
friends, but I thought I was too
I was
old. You know,
stalking
I was
her.
like, he's too young for me.
Yeah.
So it was me, Jay Pacheco, shout out,
Shout
Chrissy
out, Jay.
Tyrone, shout out,
Shout out,
And-
Chrissy.
and Adam, and we were all good friends, and we were always doing like hood rat shit together, like just
Can
Clearly.
you
ditch,
define that? What's hood rat
ding
shit?
dong ditch.
Oh, like
You
little
know,
kids. Okay.
Trashy Tattoo Tuesday. And so it was a dare. It was basically like, all right, we're all going to go get tattoos. The other 3 get to pick yours for you. And
So-
you can't see it until it's on you.
This is what they were talking about when you were at the Sally. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
this
this
is what
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So we all went, and everybody, the other 3. The funny thing was about his was he hadn't, like, he hadn't been laid in a little while, so I wasn't planning on it. But what was funny about that one was that I was the house manager of all those houses, so it was like, okay, when he goes to have sex with a girl, she's gonna be like, why the fuck is the house manager's
Yo,
name
dead
on
ass.
my, like, first and last name on your dick, basically, you know?
Did you pick the spot, or did they?
No,
pick
we
for
got
you?
to pick it.
I did actually. No, I picked your spot. We getting into yours
Yeah.
too, honey.
Oh,
So
dude, this is getting.
I'm actually sweating.
I've been sweating. So I was selling cars at Infinity, and Jay had to come pick me up because I'm the only car salesman ever that didn't have,
Have
a
a
car.
car. That's great.
Yeah. So that was a whole.
Now,
other
when you were
stupid
pitching
scenario.
people, were you like, now, if I was to have a car, I'll tell you right now, if I could afford a car, this right here, this would be the car that I would buy if I could buy a car. Now, if I didn't have to take the bus, this is what I'd be taking instead.
When I was shooting heroin, the car I dreamed of shooting heroin in.
Fucking gold.
I've never heard Justin talk like that ever.
He's on fire tonight.
He really is.
He got like
So-
7 words in.
Jay comes and picks me up, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want Michelle's tattoo to be?" And I was like, what? All right, first of all, what do you mean? He's like, "Oh yeah, we're fucking doing Trashy Tattoo Tuesday." I'm like, "Dude,
Most people eat tacos.
bro, at this point, I didn't have any of this, none of it. I didn't have it. I had no tattoos. A needle had never touched my body besides to inject heroin. My first tattoo was Michelle Smith, first and last name, in her own writing,
On the dick.
close
to it.
enough. Before I had kissed her, before anything.
Wow.
And
That's
you
what
know
he used to be
I
able to kiss
did.
me, though.
But
I
Justin,
did.
what
I
would you
did.
call that, though, that he did?
Intuition.
Yeah, that was, Justin always
Oh,
says, write
that's
it down.
Yeah, it's a positive
Write
affirmation.
it
Positive affirmation.
Write it down right here.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, yo, you know how-
Because you're 47% more likely to accomplish something if you
show
write
me
it
your
down.
stats.
Yeah,
if
he's
you write it down. It's
very
scientifically
true.
proven.
It is.
So
Nothing says trying to fuck like a tattoo on your dick.
dude,
That is true, yes.
yeah. So
Write it.
I hope my mother doesn't watch this. So
I'm gonna
Mother
send.
person
I'm gonna
wants
send
to
this.
handle
she's gonna be more astonished at hers. Hers is
Wait.
way worse.
Wait, your parents don't know about these
bro.
tattoos?
I don't think so.
Dude,
Oh, he's like already sending
Oh,
Your
them.
mom
dude.
did see me in a bathing suit last week. I don't
She
think
definitely saw it.
She
That
didn't
thing
say
is
anything.
high up the back.
Yeah.
she
And
saw
it
it.
says what?
So
Chris, would you like to?
I just think it was sweet of her because I don't want to say what it is yet. I'll let Adam. But
fair.
the fact that he slept next to one of these, and
wow.
it's
That's-
kind of sentimental.
No, it is. It is. It absolutely.
Can you
is.
just say what she has tattoos?
So it was like a heat of the moment thing, and like we had.
You don't say. You don't say.
Heat of the moment.
Listen, so we're in Jay's halfway broken down Maxima on the way back to this halfway broken down tattoo parlor, and he's like, "Oh, they need to know like Michelle's on the chair. They need to know what you're gonna write." And I'm like, "Wow." And Jay and I had just thrown this around, calling these two this name
What is
for
it?
weeks, and I was like, you know what, rock it, cum dumpster.
Oh my God, dude.
As a tramp stamp.
Oh my God.
You've
dude.
never seen it?
That is hopefully not an affirmation. That was hopefully. Oh God,
Yeah.
Michelle.
So
Imagine being in a public place like a pool, not knowing her, being like, "Yo, who the fuck has
It
cum
happens a
dumpster?"
lot. That
Have
happened
you
on
not-
the cruise we went on.
Prioritize the cover-up tattoo.
No, I don't mind it.
I said,
At this point, it's just a part of who I am.
It's a great conversation piece.
It's funny because we were on the cruise.
I was embarrassed about having my fucking name on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, we went on that cruise, me and Michelle and Jenna and stuff, and we're going on the water slide on the cruise. So like we're on the stairs, and there's a guy standing right behind me, and Jenna
staring
goes,
at cheeks.
Jenna goes, I think I'll forget I have it because And she's like, "Oh my God, he's looking right at your tattoo. He's looking right." So I turn around, he goes, and he must be from like Ireland. He's like, "Lost a bet, eh?" Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And
It's a good one.
I just think it's beautiful. You slept next to a
is.
dumpster behind Dunkin' Donuts, and
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
absolutely,
a
yeah.
cum dumpster. So it's like,
that's
That's-
a great connection.
that
right
is-
there.
I feel uncomfortable even saying it.
What are you gonna say?
oh God, I'm
You
with
look
you.
over, he's like sweating.
So
I'm with you. My armpits immediately started to heat up and sweat.
Yeah.
who really got the worst tattoo? Because right now I'm thinking Michelle got the worst tattoo.
I take
No.
Michelle Smith on my leg all day long.
Yeah,
I'd put it on my
overcome-
fucking forehead.
dude,
Cum dumpster.
it is the most simple yet flagrant tramp stamp of all time.
Mine, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like kids' handwriting, cum dumpster.
Nice.
It's not even like.
Yeah.
I just want to do a side note. Any girls in early recovery looking for a sponsor, Michelle Smith is picking up sponsees. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Michelle, when she saw it on Chrissy's Snapchat story. So Chrissy got I farted on her butt cheek, and Jay got semen demon on his thigh. Yeah, we all went through with it though. We all still have them.
did you guys owe
But
back?
Michelle saw it on
100% I owe
on
back then.
Snapchat and lost her shit.
Oh yeah.
Like she was like, "You're the house manager over there, and you have fucking cum dumpsters and tramp stamps." She was so mad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So how long after the because you shot your shot right there. That's shooting your shot right there.
I walked out and I was like, you know how I know we're fucking?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Yep.
By the way, Aquaphor right here.
And you guys have been together how long?
A little over 2.5 years.
So cute.
Yep.
So
Cutie
cute.
patootie.
Cutie patooties.
Fuck's sake.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. The feeling of nausea that I get when scrolling on my Facebook feed,
Oh my God.
and I'm trying to process through it. I'm like, is this because it's something that I want to do and I can't? And like, I worked through it, and I came to the conclusion, nah, nope, no.
I'm actually surprised it took this long
I
to
see
get
what you're
into
doing
it.
right now.
This, yes, go ahead, please.
I'm on Facebook right now, and Adam tagged Michelle Smith, and
did.
it's the guy from 300.
See, I was just saying
It was a
this.
perfect reference. It says, even in Sparta, the king must ask permission from his queen. Fucking throw.
Oh my God, punch yourself in the face. Even
right now?
what pisses me off, you know what pisses me off about it, Adam, is because
your
you
wife's
get
I know
my
where this-
wife
yeah.
Yes,
fucking
yes.
looking at me like, and I have to look
just-
at her and be
when,
like,
when she sends you
when
that, just replace the word queen with cum dumpster. Be like, you know what, babe?
Oh my God.
You know what, babe? I think we're good.
I need to let her know there's never going to be in a moment where we're sitting next to each other and I'm commenting on your Facebook, having a conversation. You love just talking to people on Facebook. You have my phone number, yet you constantly
I do, yeah.
text me through Facebook.
Yeah. LaBarge gets so mad at me. He's like, "Why do you keep sending me messages in Messenger?" I'm like, "I don't know."
I don't even want to hear it from anybody.
But my
She'll
favorite,
text me, FaceTime me, Facebook message me, hit me up on email.
Email.
Literally,
A pigeon flies through the fucking window with a note. Bitch, text me.
my favorite though is that you guys have ruthless ruthless people that love you.
Yeah.
So the fucking
Oh, yeah.
comment
Yeah.
section in
Yeah.
all of your
lit.
posts is
lit.
so lit.
That's the
it is
best part.
my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Honestly, like shout out to J Mac because it's been saucy since he came back. Like he just, I knew Jay maybe 5 days prior to him leaving for Florida. He comes back first day, hits the ground running, dude. Throw up signs on one of my posts. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's how you
dude.
know-
Like, all right,
That's
bro.
him letting you know.
Respect that.
Now
All
we're
right.
cool.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
we're cool. This is how it's
Let's
gonna
get
go.
this awkward stage right out of the way. Like you're a fucking loser.
Yo, shout out Dave Leo, because Dave Leo one day, like on one of their posts, is like, "I'll be Chris Leduto," and tagged me into the throw up emoji. I'm like, dude, but it's hilarious.
I only do that with people I care about.
Yeah, facts.
No, absolutely.
I don't do it for the glory. I do it for the relationships, for the people.
So, how do you have a successful relationship? Both being in recovery, both living in the same area, both working at the same job. How do you find that balance? What does your recovery look like? People that say, because you guys have been together 2 years, 2.5 years. So how what was that? You had a year clean when you met?
When we met, I had like 6 months.
Yeah, no, because I want to make a point here. Justin
Yeah.
will get fired up too about
I
it.
had 5.5.
And
6
you
months.
had how much?
Like 16 months.
16 months, because they say I don't know who they is, but you don't get in a relationship in the first year of recovery. Yet here you guys are, and which there are, and I don't agree with don't get in a relationship, but there are, just like with anything that you're starting to navigate towards in early recovery, there's many things that can take you out if you lose focus. The gym can take you out, your job can take you out, a relationship can take you out, but yet they don't say don't get a job in the first year of recovery.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
don't go to the gym in the first year of recovery.
Don't lose your mother in the first year. of
Don't
recovery.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
My
like
best friend lost his mother, but
Yeah.
there's always some sort of something that's going to come up in recovery. The advice should be like, no matter what's going on in your life, this has to be the priority. Make sure people know where you're at, be transparent with your truth, and like stay connected regardless of what you're doing, what you're going through. It's like second someone says don't get in a relationship, first thing I want to do is get in a relationship.
Well, the other thing too is no matter
beyond that, it's like, are you God? Apparently we're God now.
But more-
we
Yeah, yeah,
decide
Yep.
what people should be doing.
But the other thing too, human nature kicks in. I had that happen with me and Caroline years ago, and we were together for 7 fucking years and both in recovery.
90% of people in recovery who have clean time got in a relationship in their first year. So you're not sharing your experience, you're sharing a parental opinion.
Yeah.
It's like,
Told you you'd get fired up.
Yep.
Go ahead, go Justin, go get him.
There he is.
Damn.
Well, I think too.
it's ultimately what you're doing. Are you sharing honestly and openly who you are and what's going on with you in all areas of life, just like he talked about?
Yeah.
It's like, that's the difference. Like, can relationships take your focus off? Yes.
Yep.
But at the same note, you can also have someone help you in your recovery by getting in. You know what I mean? It's like, I had a sponsor who I moved on from because I got in a relationship with a girl who had 6 months clean, and he fucking berated me and had all my sponsees judge me for it. And it was fucking bullshit. It was complete bullshit.
All because
And-
of her time.
all because of her time. And she stayed clean, and I was an asset in her recovery, not you know what I mean? Not a defect. Like, I wasn't out to hurt her. I cared
think
about
that's-
her.
that's
So
a
there's
big-
a
that's the big
difference.
thing.
That's a
Every
big point you make,
circumstance is
though.
What your
different.
intentions
Absolutely.
are.
Yeah, but
behind
when
it.
people get black and white and want to live in like everything's one way, they're not with God.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And there's
You're living
nothing
in
in the
controlled
literature that
ego.
tells you not to get in a relationship for the first year.
At the end of the day, if you're bringing God into all circumstances in your life, then you'll gain the strength to get through them. If you aren't bringing God and honesty and other people, then you're in trouble. And again, like he said, it could be a relationship. It could be playing too many fucking video games. It could be, it could be a million different things. Chris?
What? What?
And I think where we
Don't
left
call on
out,
me. You
too,
can't even spell
where
girlfriend.
we did really good with it was that I was living in Rise Above, and I had a lot of strong women, and he was living in the men's house, had a lot of strong relationships with men. So when we went through our shit, which we did go through, neither one of us fell apart. Like we had built relationships with other people and friendships that like we got through it.
So you had separate networks, and then you had
We had a bunch of friends together, but we also had,
Yeah, which is important.
yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
And you got tattooed Michelle Smith and Come Dumpster.
Right, what are we
So
supposed to
I
do?
like
Who's going to take me after
Adam's like,
that?
now you can't leave.
Right, dude. At this
Now
point,
you can't leave.
Me
at the
neither.
stage
I mean,
of breakup,
explain
I
that one to
definitely
somebody.
took the L, but like,
Not really.
No,
I don't
Come
know,
Dumpster.
dude. Like,
That's yeah.
She's getting mad at him. So, no,
but no,
That's
but,
not a
just
person.
think. But just
That's not
think.
a person.
All right, let's step back for 2 seconds. Like, had Michelle Smith been a different girl, and then
Oh, yeah, you got
you
that.
know what I mean, and then you show up and like it's getting hot and heavy in the bedroom, the light's still on for whatever reason, and boom, bro, that inmate comes out quick,
Right.
and that shit would have fucking.
I'm pretty sure my wife's going to suggest I get one of those.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say-
Oh my God.
yes, I
Dude, if
Yeah.
Sam
No, don't.
doesn't suggest
Let's
it,
move on. Yeah.
dude,
I will
no,
pay for it. 1,000%, I'll pay for it.
dude, Sam and Michelle connect like on this weird
Serial
wavelength.
killer.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I love her. She's great.
Yeah, you're
It's like the mentality, like you're going
It's
nowhere.
sketchy,
I'll kill
dude.
both of us. Is that the
I
mentality?
get
Yeah.
nervous like at your Christmas parties and stuff. Like we're pulling up, and I'm like, oh my God, Sam and fucking Michelle in the same room, dude. This is crazy. Luckily, she was pregnant and she like had her own stuff going on. So like, she's like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going upstairs. I'm like, thank God. Get
She's
these two
crazy,
away
though.
from each other. Oh,
Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
We had those conversations when you wanted to go to Martha's Vineyard, that whole thing, and I told Sam about it. She's like, who is this fuck boy? So
dude, I know. Like your wife just shut that down. Boop, done.
then he pulled up to drop something off. She's like, oh, he looks like a fuck boy. Tell him he's a fuck boy, Michelle. Like, I
Dude,
love her.
Sam is
She's just
gangsta.
great.
Who was she
is,
saying
dude.
that about? Just a random dude.
Remember the whole Martha's Vineyard? He wanted to go with him, and he was like a guy in Rise Above, and he ended up having to drop something. Remember that? I don't want to say his name, but
Yeah.
she's like,
Say his
ugh.
And like this was me with like, I don't know, what, 2.5 years clean, like 2 years clean, 2 years clean. Like I wasn't like I'm not fucking retarded. Like I can. She's like, oh no, I talked to Sam and that ain't happening. Like, okay, well,
My wife,
sorry, guys, I can't go.
is the type of woman that I'll walk into the bedroom, she'll be getting ready, and then she'll start crying because nothing fits her, or she doesn't like the way that she looks, and then she'll start attacking me, and then she'll storm out the room, and then she'll go get dressed in another room, and then she'll come in, and she'll look pretty like she always does, and then she'll go in my face, do you know how lucky you are to have me?
clapping.
Do you know
Tell me-
how pretty I am? And it's like, just so you know, you ever leave me, I'll fucking kill you. I don't even want your money. I'll fucking kill you. And I'll be laying in the same spot.
That's amazing.
That was, I'm watching this from the time that she was crying, from the time that she was emotional, to the time that she left. I'm just trying to watch my fucking podcast.
Yeah,
I'm trying to watch my Joe Rogan podcast and chill out, and I have to watch this fucking crazy bitch go through 11 different personalities in a matter of 45 minutes. 45 minutes.
yeah. That's
Love her.
That's this one.
Love her.
Yeah.
She's great.
Dude, the
She's
best
a
is when they're
fucking
fighting.
nut.
The best is when they're fighting, and Michelle will start laughing. I'm like, oh
I can't help it. I'm a laugher.
Fucking-
Yeah,
God.
I don't play that.
And I
shit.
know it's about to go down. Like I know if I
Kevin
if
Hart
I
voice.
show
It's about to go.
it
it's
is like
bad.
I'm like, and the minute my head says don't smile, it's not a good time to smile. I can't fucking help it. And
do
then
you
I
like-
see
do you
a
like put 'em
flash in his eyes.
Put him in timeout or something? Or?
I just am like, I'm just like, and he's like, is that a fucking smile on your stupid
Dude.
face?
Shit gets fucking gully
And
fast.
then that makes me laugh. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's been bad. Yeah, we don't have to go over there, but
All right. Adam used to hate me. Okay.
that's true.
Adam used to hate me at meetings, whatever. I was new in recovery, loud, annoying, whatever. I found out, started coming around. And Michelle's like, a bed opened up at Pine Street Apartment A where he met. I was like, oh, man, I don't know if he really likes me. I was just starting to come around. He just, dealt with me, I feel like. And then I think he was maybe starting to turn around to like me. But I remember when
After you dealt with us, completely tossing
Michelle,
your
when
room.
you rip your vape, just I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a 8-second clip of that we can't hear nothing except for.
Oh my god.
But anyway, any story that someone hates you, I want to hear. Finish that up.
Yeah.
hey, I'm like, a bed opened up in apartment A, which is where he lived. I'm like, oh man, like I want, Craig's there, everyone. I'm like, I want to get these guys to get to like me, and hopefully they do. And one thing I heard about, like Craig was telling me, he's like, dude, Michelle and Adam, sometimes they might argue, and you might feel the house shake. So I'm like, oh man, I love stirring the pot. I remember I made a comment to Adam one day, and I was there for like 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, you and Michelle haven't fought yet? And I'm like, I'm fucking honestly let down. I think I'm going to move out. And we're busting jokes. Next day I'm sitting there eating a peanut butter sandwich because I'm weird and I love peanut butter sandwiches.
What the fuck is weird about peanut butter?
It's just peanut butter. How dry is that, dude?
So anyways, I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, Adam kicks my bedroom door open and he goes, "You ready for this, motherfucker?" And I'm like sitting in my bed, got my lotion right here, I'm like ready to go.
Oh my God.
He started I don't even know what it was over. Like the cloud, the sky being blue. It was something so minuscule, and the whole time he's yelling, he's like, yeah. He's like, you like that? I'm like, oh, it was, and that's when I knew. I'm like, dude, I love it. I love it.
One of the funniest times was in the van that time.
Oh man,
he's driving the van. He's in the passenger seat, and Chris and I. He just makes me laugh anyway. So never mind that I already like to laugh during fights. So I'm standing outside the van. He's got these veins that happen that make me laugh when he gets mad. They pop out, and I'm sorry, they do. And Chris,
Adam's like, it's called stress.
so I'm trying to hold it together.
I'm gonna have another.
I'm trying to hold it together. He's screaming at me, and I glance in the passenger seat. Chris is like this, sucking his baby. And I was like, I lost it. Adam rips away with the van, and Chris in it just takes off. I was like,
yeah,
That's incredible.
Yeah, Chris tries to get us going. He'll try to start.
Oh, he
fights.
always does that.
Always does.
And we don't fight like we used to. We just go
joking-
past it now. So
All
he'll
joking aside, they used to bicker back and forth, and it's not like bad. They used to get into it a couple times, but they've been so good recently, and I've been so depressed ever since they've been good. I'm just like, can you dude, call her bitch or something?
do something.
No, I'm happy for them though, because it's you see your friends, just start changing and finding. I'm trying to bring this into something positive, but no, they're doing good and it sucks. Whatever.
But it's what the benefit of being in recovery, two people being in recovery and being in a relationship. It's because when I watch relationships, the number one thing that I see, especially with males that I've sponsored, that I talk to, it's failed relationships. And the biggest reason why relationships fail is that in the beginning, these two people come together and then a growth process occurs. And then at one point, someone stops growing as the other person continues to grow. And the more you continue to grow, the more intolerant you become from inactivity and growth. So a relationship is work. With people in recovery, it's two people constantly working. It's not just Adam that would hold you accountable. It's you have a network of people that are going to tell you you're off your shit, you're off you're acting fucking different, or what. They can sense it. When people are generally around you, they know when you're off. Like people around me, I know when Justin's off. Justin knows when I'm off. Jay, that's the relationship. So it's a constant set of accountability that keeps you in that growth process, which makes that a benefit in when you're actually two individuals in recovery, as long as you're both working towards growing. And you come to, because it's an adaptation of the new versions of yourself, because you're in an evolution, right? Because you won't be the same people you are in this moment a year from now. Right. So it's a reintroduction of where are we, what are we trying to compromise on now? Because life changes, right? Yeah. With new levels comes new devils and new circumstances and all these new things, which is
new apps.
New what'd you say? New abs?
Yeah.
New abs. Yep.
Apps. The end of fucking
Chris
relationships.
was new abs.
Fucking
oh, I thought
Facebook.
He's
fucking
abs
Instagram, Tinder.
Please interject here.
Speaking of apps, please download Ascend You.
Oh, is it out?
No, not yet.
Fucking A, man.
Jesus.
It's a send video too, but
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
But so there's these things that occur when there's two people growing, and as long as there's two people in a mindset of being willing to be in this evolution, that are continuously willing to come together, because people get it fucking twisted, right? Because a lot of people mistake love for lust, right? They think the first time that you're aroused is I'm in love. That's why And believe it or not, ladies, like guys think they mean it when they tell you that they love you prior to, because we're just fucking cavemen. We don't understand our emotional process, especially
doesn't
early
get
on
that,
in
dude.
recovery. When you truly know is when, so that's why I always say, like, the unconditional love is someone to completely see you with all walls stripped down, right? Everything bare, like everything. And I'm not even talking about the physical. I'm talking about the internal, the spiritual, the mental. Like, you know, to the depths of this woman's psychoticness and all her defects. And like, I know my wife, she's punched me in the face. Like, she's, and vice versa. Because if
You
we're
punched
being
her?
completely honest, I'm more difficult in my mind than she ever is. She's got like two different like modes that she can go in. Me, I have so much internal dialogue and like fucking I'm
me
even
too.
weirder. So and for her to accept me and for us to continue to come together and be in this process of growth, like it takes work. Like the lust and everything like that carries you for like an amount of time, and then that wears off, and it's just like two individuals that have to learn how to be best friends together, compatible, like to enjoy each other's time, to like figure out like, are you going to support me? Are you going to be a part of my solutions? Or are you going to be a part of my problems? And like coming together, like a lot of people fail or aren't willing to put in the work in relationships. Therefore, that's why a lot of them fail. Or one individual is in a state of progress and doing all this work and they evolve out of the relationship.
Yep.
Or you see that times where maybe they break up and they both come back together because they're in a new state of mind, both willing to evolve together. That's like similar to what happened with me and my wife. And but I actually believe you have the upper hand, you know, like both being in recovery, both having support systems, both having processes of getting better. So, Chris, what's the single life for you right now?
Jagger.
What's that like?
Dude.
Because we got two different spectrums, right? We got the relationship world, and then we got the navigating the singleness and recovery world. Has the desperation kicked in yet?
Yeah, it has. Adam, do you want to say something?
Desperation of what?
Guys go through it because they go on the tear, and that starts to fade out, and then they just go to this place where like, I just want someone to love me.
That's where I'm at right now.
I just want to be held.
And then I start overthinking. I'm like, well, why am I like seeking like affection from someone else? Like, am I ready? And then I'll start overthinking. Like, okay, well, like, how did I act today? Like the other day, I blew up on someone I'm really close with for no reason. Called him out, just lost it on him because he made a comment and I interpreted it like a completely different way. And I just don't think that I don't know if I'm ready. And dating is so fucked up. And it's like, I'm not used to it. And, you know, with like COVID happening, it's like tough to meet people. It was so much easier when I was getting high to meet people. You go to a bar, you go out to a party, like whatever. And it's like, now it's like, okay, let me do Facebook dating. I could download all these apps, do everything. And it's just not what I'm.
You can't stop dating though.
No.
It's the thing, because I mean, there are times that like you take time off to sit with self and kind of process what's going on, be in a state of communication. But you learn so much about yourself when you're out there, like in the dating world. You learn a lot about what it is that you want, what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Like if you're not in a mindset of I'm just going to settle for the first thing that
No. And
fucking.
And I, like I'm 31. Like I my biggest thing, and I'm sure anyone here can relate to it, is like I compare, right? Like, especially to my brothers, like to their success, to their marriages and everything. Like, why didn't I? Like, that was my dream. I remember one of my brothers saying, you know, when we were younger, he's like, I don't know if I want kids. I don't know if I want to get married. And, you know, he got, you know, married and kids before me. And like my story is different and my path is different. But like, I'm a firm believer, like if it's meant to be, it'll be. And like, I'm not going to rush it. Anytime I've ever tried to rush anything in my life, it's never worked out. It's never worked out for me. And I've already waited this fucking long. Like, so keep playing the field. And
But even if you decide what the plan's going to look like, Justin can tell you that there can always be something else that'll occur. His plan wanted to be something, and it turned out to be, I mean, something completely different.
what is it called? An affirmation list? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, you could just get a tattoo. You meet a girl and you just throw it on
Just
your
like
leg.
no idea.
You're like, you're the one.
Yeah. Nah.
So, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd say, again, this is for me. I mean, I had dreams and aspirations of having a family because I grew up in a bad family. And in my mind, I like painted the picture similar to you that this is going to do something for me. And my experience was I settled for someone who made me feel safe. And I'm grateful. You know, I have 2 beautiful children, but at the same note, it was a placeholder too. I feel like, because I feel like there is other things in charge. I mean, my wife's considerably younger than me also. So she would have been in like grade school probably when I met my first wife, you know?
Oh, you and Michelle have some similarities, huh?
So that wouldn't have worked out. Yeah, 13 years.
That's same.
Yeah. So
a lot of my friends that like, there's a lot of babies around too. And like, that'll fuck with me because like even like Eric and Jade's baby. So I saw her at the meeting tonight and I was like baby fever is real. And like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
you're a catch, Chris.
You are.
What was that face for? What's that face?
Hey, if you're watching this podcast and you want to go out on a date with Chris, we're taking just comment in the comment section.
Please.
That's it. Or if you know anybody that you know is out there single, ready to mingle, and you think they'd be a good fit with Mr. Christopher Ledoux, let us know. Comment. Like and subscribe.
I have so
Make sure you
much to
share it
say.
too.
I just don't think it's appropriate.
Chris will make a really good boyfriend to somebody someday.
That's why
I'm not kidding. I
Don't
really
even say that about me.
you're okay. I'm just kidding. But really, I think Chris will make somebody. He'll be a really good boyfriend.
The journey's the best part. You can't. There is no expediting the plan. You know, the plan is the plan. You know,
I think we're all gonna know. We're gonna be like, she's the one. Like, we're gonna know when he brings a certain.
And that's when I'm talking with like Michelle, she's like, I never meet any like whatever. And it's like bringing a girl to meet my mother, right? That's how I see you guys. Like, it's like bringing someone, like it has to be something serious, and it's just, I don't know. I'm just trying not to rush it. I get antsy.
Yeah, you can't rush.
I wish I could go back in time and take a picture of Michelle's mother's face when she brought home a teenager.
or your mother's face
Or
when
my
you brought
mother's
home
face.
me.
It's noon. Why isn't he in high school right now?
Yeah.
Who they were very, very
he truant?
gracious. Because I would have hated me. If I was his mother, and I would have hated me walking in. I would have been like, who is this old bitch coming home with my son with 6 months clean?
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
I mean, to give you credit, you don't look old. So.
Right.
No, you look, honestly, you look really, really good for 87 years old, Michelle.
He calls me Dusty, like on the daily.
No, but seriously, 56, I would never, I would never guess it.
Keep going.
Never guess it.
I'm always on the receiving end of like shit like this, so it's refreshing.
I'm just confused. You would think his mom would hate you over the age. I was going to say like the cum dumpster tattoo.
She hasn't seen it yet, Chris.
Oh,
Bro.
I'm sharing it with. I'm going to send this to her.
Yeah, it wasn't a
see it.
fucking pool party
And
the
now
first time
she
she met him.
loves Now she loves
Cannonball!
me. So now I think she would be like,
That?
Yeah.
she loves me now. So now she'd be like, oh, that makes sense.
No, she does. It's funny because in the very same sense of what we're doing here, just roasting Adam, they get together and just fucking
Roast him.
dump on me all day, dude. I'm
Yeah.
like, why do I come
brother.
home again?
She's great.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's love.
Yeah, I was just
It
going to
is.
say.
Fucking
It
piece
is.
of shit.
So we're not doing too bad on time. 10:23. So we're coming towards the end of this. So usually we like to tie up the fuckery. Just like last week, we had a lot of fuckery too with Nicole. Minus an argument. We didn't argue.
No, we didn't.
That's good. That's good.
That's called growth.
That was more of a debate.
Yeah.
Climbing the ladder together.
Yeah. My mom was like, "Are you and Justin all right?" My mom's one of the 3 biggest fans of the show.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom.
3 big.
Oh, yeah.
have-
Shout out to
yeah.
Lisa.
Same.
I think it's my mom, maybe Chris's brother
I
still.
commented.
And then like
No.
2 guys
Shelly.
in India. 2 guys in India.
Shout out to
My
those
mom
guys too.
is religious with it.
Okay, so we
I'm
got
Salty Shelly. I comment on it every week.
Oh, that's you?
That's
That's
you,
me.
you little shit.
Salty
blocking
Shelly.
it.
Yeah, it's an old email. Fuck off.
yeah.
Michelle Smith at hotmail.69.com.
So what's the question? What do we want to hit the end of the podcast question? Anybody have something?
Come on, Adam.
I always draw a blank. I'm like,
You'd think one of you guys would come fucking prepared. One podcast, help me out here at the end of the podcast.
I mean, you are our fearless leader.
I am not fearless. Well, so I'll just go back to one of my old questions for them. Or unless you have something.
I got nothing. I want to know which old question you're going to pick.
I love giving advice to myself.
oh, like the old you.
Yeah.
Well, the younger you.
Yeah, of course. Like the fucked up, damaged, terrified version, because that's like the bringing you back to that state of mind where you were in and what you wish you could have heard from someone, the type of advice you knew that could have altered or changed or just helped not expedite but further you along in the process instead of taking on more unnecessary pain. So. I mean, why don't you start, Chris?
That was a question. So if I could speak to the younger me, it would be, don't be afraid to be who you are and express yourself, and don't be afraid to open up. Yeah, that's simple. That's it. That's all I got.
Gave me no time to like mentally prepare my answer. I don't know. I think going back and like if I could sit down and talk with myself, I think that would be best, and not just have this like, good job, or keep up the good work, I guess.
Oh, so you want to go back and have like a really long...
No, like sitting on a bench, you know what I mean? And like,
wait, the bench where you got punched?
At
the bench where I got punched.
At the public library.
Okay, yes. We'll set the tones. This beautiful garden, this fountain that makes like the perfect amount of noise, not like too loud. Like
a babbling brook.
A babbling brook. I think it would be like, don't take yourself too seriously. Like, 'cause for a lot of time, I always thought that like I had to be the best of everything, when in reality I wasn't even close. And I let that get to me over the years, and then because of it, played the victim card of like everything happened to me. It wasn't just a situation that I went through. Everything was, I was the target. So I think we just don't take yourself too seriously. You're not the end all be all of the world, and you'll get through it, just like I've proven that I can time and time again. And I think if I had a better understanding of like, this too shall pass, and you don't have to carry it with you like luggage, I'd probably still would be fucked up, to be honest with you.
Never know. Miss Michelle.
So my, and I say this a lot, like the biggest lie my disease told me, and like I wish I knew back then, is like the lie it would tell me is like, you have time, and like I wish years ago I had told myself like, you don't, like it's gonna go by so fast, and I would always say like, oh, I'm only 21, I have plenty of time, I'm a young mother, I have plenty of time, I'm only in my 20s, I have plenty, and before I knew it I was 36. So I think it would have been like, you don't have time. Like, you know what I mean, you're wasting all this time.
No. Jason. Hello.
I've just been sitting here marinating in my thoughts, because right what Chris said out the gate is what I was thinking, but it's allowed me to, listening to them, kind of go a little bit more in depth. What I would say to the younger me, what keeps sticking out, is that when I was in my mid to late 20s and had like a few years clean, I was living day to day on the fact that I was in recovery and had time, and stopped really addressing truly where the fuck I was at, because I was living up to the expectation. You sponsoring guys, or in the area that we went to meetings, we were part of a crew of people that were at a certain age bracket that were accumulating time. And I took the focus off of what the fuck I was actually there for. And that's why I'm so passionate and driven the way I am now at 40, because it's so important. I own every fucking day, whether I'm fucked up, depressed, happy, anything you can think of. I just own that I'm at that. whether it's a group, whether it's a sponsee, whether it's whatever. And I truly learned from there. So it's kind of like it's the closest thing you can actually do to changing that time is I did learn from that. And it's like I did have that discussion then. And I just apply it now because I can't be 26 again.
Yeah.
But I can be the best version of me at 40. And that's like how I feel, you know? I just dig deep my dark shit that I've been through or shit that sent me out there or the depression when I couldn't get back. I can't change that, but it makes me better now because I own it. I'm almost like proud that happened. I know that sounds fucked up even as I say it, but
No.
it's just truly how I feel. I'm like happy that I went through that where I'm at now. It was devastating when I went through it. You know, I had guys crying when I relapsed and it hurt because I knew that was going to be a long road before I'd make it back. I knew that it's not just going to a meeting the next day. Could it have happened like that? Yeah. Just wasn't happening like that for me. Yep. So, yeah, it's just, it doesn't matter what other people, how they view you. Yes, it's nice when people are inspired by you or they say that you help them. But at the end of the fucking day, if I feel like a certain way, I talk about it. Whether it's us at night, whether it's on here, whether it's wherever. I just, you know, I truly try to own the nature of where I'm at. Relationships, job. I mean, there's so much going on that's good, but there's still bad that can come, and I talk about it.
Of course, yeah.
You know, so that's what I got out of that question.
Thanks, Trey.
You want me to go?
No, I can
still
go.
need more
I
time?
can go. No, I don't need more time. Yeah, the first thing that came to me was the same thing as Chris. So I'm going to go with that 'cause it's my truth, I feel like. So embracing who I am and being myself. I heard a woman say early in recovery, if you got arrested for loving yourself, would they have the evidence to convict you?
Wow.
Damn.
I like that.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
And I know for me, I was in a similar place where I like tried to create a new version of myself instead of just being myself, you know, and I was like somebody in the program, but still walled off. You still had to get through some walls to get to know me. And I'm working on being more loving and caring, but I didn't realize that the process, I just settled for a long time and this is the way that I was. And I chose to be that way, really, due to my limited thinking of like embracing and loving myself and challenging myself to like be open, loving, and caring. You know, it's like and so today I strive to do that, and I have some spiritual practices, and you know, it's why I'm a spiritualist at heart at this point, because it's like, you know, spirituality defining who you are and what you're here for, and it's like we're all amazing. I just so deeply believe in human beings and our goodness, you know, and we all just have it in us, and it's just, and when people are able to be themselves, which is what I admire about everybody on this panel, to be honest, especially you four. Chris and I can close off sometimes. We can have some balmy energy, you know, but you four actually are very open and welcoming, and it's a beautiful quality that you have, and it is so valuable to like all of the people we work with, because you give them the permission to be the same, you know, and so today I strive to do that, but I wish I had been challenged to do that earlier, personally. You know, I wish I had opened up a little bit earlier, but that's the advice I'd give myself.
No, that's good. I agree with everything that everybody said, but for me, giving me advice, thinking back, it would be what I mean, I say it to every group that I run, literally every group. And the reason why I say it is because it was so important for me to hear it, was you're not as uniquely fucked up as you think you are. And because there was a long time where, like, especially when I was first clean, like, I was the go-to guy that in recovery people would tell, like, the worst shit that they did, and I would make them feel okay about it. It didn't matter. And I remember people used to be like, oh, you co-sign anything or this and that. There's a thing inside of me that I just wanted people to know that they were all right no matter what. And I didn't want them to feel shame, because deep down inside it was like something that I needed to hear, but I still couldn't get to that place where I could say shit out loud. So I did classify myself as that, uniquely fucked up. So I held and I carried a lot of pain for a lot of years, and I suppressed a lot, which was like that. I talk about the disease weaponizes that, those parts of us, and uses it to like It's the fucking trying to go have a good day and it's sunny out and everybody's smiling and laughing and you have that random thought that comes through that's like, hey, remember this, you fucking piece of shit?
Yeah.
And then it just like completely removes you from the now. And I allowed the disease to do that to me for a long time because of that classification, which is why like since it took me probably 6 years, almost 6 years clean to get to that place, which I wasted 6 years of being in pain while on the outside having external validation. Walking around having people telling me like how proud they were of me and how good I was doing and all this shit, and like I was literally dying on the inside because of that, because I couldn't get to a place of transparency with truth, and I never could, in my lack of truth never allowed me to fully connect. So my connections were never truly strong, even though I had a lot of people around me. I didn't have a lot of people around me that knew, I just had people around me that loved me unconditionally. They didn't know the full extent of much. I had like maybe one or two individuals that I would tell the truth, but I never even allowed myself to go to that place. And the freedom that I got when I began that process of transparency and the freedom that I got when I began on that journey, it was like, holy shit. I didn't even know. And what's crazy too is there was points in my life, especially in recovery, where I thought I was happy. Like I thought like, oh, this must be what people are talking about when they're happy, just because I wasn't like, I didn't have like fucking terrible things happening to me. And it was until I got so used to that knot and that ball and that inner dialogue that I just accepted it as like, this is what it's going to be forever. And I just almost like learned how to deal. It's like someone that just has like a bad leg or a bad back that just learned how to deal with the pain.
Sizable ankle, yeah.
The sizable ankle, exactly. Then once I got to that place with transparency and I no longer classify myself as uniquely fucked up, but it's like, oh shit, this must be what people are talking about, being present, allowing yourself to being in moments and like being able to experience them, laughing and having it be genuine, like that's the shit. So that would be the most important thing, and to tell myself I'm not as uniquely fucked up as I think that I am, and also that it's not my fault. That my thoughts don't define who I am. And because we've all walked by somebody at the mall leaning over the railing and thought like,
push them off.
I could push them off.
Yeah.
So fucked up.
Yeah.
We have,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I've thought a lot worse shit than that,
Oh, yeah.
but I've also thought worse shit than that about myself. And I don't decide to think that shit about myself, just like I don't decide to think that shit about the guy hanging over the railing. I just confused it and classified myself as something. Therefore, it fucking owned me. So that would be my advice. So this is the end of the podcast. I want to thank Adam and Michelle for coming on. You guys have been great guests. If you made it this far in the podcast, which you probably didn't, but if you did, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Chris's mom.
Yep.
Like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to our sponsors, Rich Print Shop. If you want to watch us or not watch us, listen to us. We're on iTunes, Spotify, all that shit. I should have said that at the beginning, but fuck it, we're at the end. Apple Podcasts, Apple Podcast.
I bet that
Check it. That's
I
it.
ain't
We
spitting
out.
nothing, so-
Peace.